and welcome back to Hot Dog Crochet. I want to welcome you to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very, very much. If you're new here, thank you for stopping on this video. I hope that you are having a great day, and hopefully the week is going well for you. This is my Wednesday video. I had to think about that one for a little bit. And I wanted to talk to you just for a little while about market bags. It's something that I think a lot of people are making right now. Now, there's a lot of different patterns out there. And you can use whatever you like. If you've never made a market bag, I would recommend the YouTube tutorial by Stephanie Z, and it's called Crochet Market Bag, Reusable, Washable, Fun. I am going to try and link her channel below. In that particular video, it's less than half an hour long, and you get everything you need instruction-wise to make a market bag. Now, most market bags are going to have a lot of chains and whatnot, so that they have some stretch. So, because the idea is they fold up really nicely and, small, but they expand quite a bit. You can put a lot in it, whether you're going to the store or you're going to like a farmer's market or whatever you want to do with it. Sorry. You can use your market bag for whatever you'd like. Now, personally, I just absolutely love making market bags. Now, you can make a market bag in any size that you like. Now, most market bags are going to be made with cotton. So why? Because cotton is washable. Well, so is acrylic. Well, cotton doesn't stretch as much as acrylic does. And the other thing with cotton is that some people think that it is better for the environment than, say, an acrylic. I'm only going to offer just kind of my little 2 cents. It doesn't matter if you're buying cotton, wool, acrylic, whatever type of yarn or fabric or clothing, anything you buy, even if it's, hemp products or anything you buy, there is an environmental cost to getting that particular yarn, fabric, piece, whatever. Because when something is refined from its original state, let's just take wool for a moment. They shear the sheep. Well, then you have to clean that wool and you have to card that wool, and then not always, but a lot of times you're going to dye that wool, and all of that takes water, energy, and so it doesn't matter if we're talking about whatever the product is, there is an environmental cost to it. So in my eyes, and again, this is just my opinion, if the environmental cost of whatever you buy already exists. We don't, in our society, in our society, we do not take, for the most part, now, yes, there's a few people out there that do, but for the most part, as consumers and business owners, or as just everyday citizens, we do not grow our own sheep or cotton or whatever we're going to use, and we don't do the whole process to get it to into a state of fiber that we could use. So my point in all of this is that I do not think personally that there's that big a difference between environmentally between purchasing cotton yarn, wool yarn, alpaca, acrylic, chenille, whatever you want to use, grab it. It's already been created. You're not making the impact on the earth worse. Okay. Now, for market bags, just like for anything that you're going to use in your kitchen for the most part, unless it's decorative, you really want to have something made out of cotton. Now, cotton, unless it's mercerized, is gonna shrink if you wash it in hot water, dry it in the dryer. And so most of these market bags that you're making, or that people are making, what you want to do is wash them in cold water and then let them line dry or lay flat to dry. This is not typically something that you want to put in the dryer unless you make it out of mercerized cotton. Now, if you make it out of treated cotton, you can wash it, you can dry it, no problem. Mercerized cotton is usually going to cost you more than just regular untreated cotton. So this particular one is made out of Bernat Handicrafter cotton. It's not mercerized, meaning you do not want this to go in hot water, and it does not go in the dryer. The nice thing about like Bernat Handicrafter and Lily Peaches and Cream, Sugar and Cream, you can get some really, really nice colorways. This particular one, I don't know if you can still purchase it or not. I bought this colorway probably back in 2018, I think, or maybe even before that. So this is something that I really enjoy making. A typical market bag takes me somewhere around 3 hours to make. And they are nice because with the chains, they can really expand, as well as they are usually a little bit easier to take care of than like a wool product or any other product that you might use. Now, I'm not so great at folding these up, but you know, you've got your handles. Now the handles typically don't stretch a whole lot because you're doing just single crochets. There's a little bit stretch there, but not a lot. But with the chains where you're actually making this mesh, almost like a netting, this will expand. You can put quite a bit of stuff in these particular market bags. I learned about this particular pattern and about the market bags from Passionate Kelsey. I really do like her channel. So this is my basic market bag. Now, I did do a little bit of tweaking with it compared to the market bag that is on the Stephanie's Ed tutorial. I changed the amount of starting chains for my regular market bag. I just added a few onto it. Now, something else that I make, and let's see if I can kind of get this in here. Now, this one is quite a bit bigger. So this one is more geared towards being like a beach tote. Now, this one I used Karen cotton cakes. So there's going to be some really good stretch with this one. It's washable. It's dryable. It's softer than your handicrafter or your crafting cotton or your peaches and cream, lily and cream cotton. I love the colorways that you can get from the Karen cotton cakes. Now, when I'm making a beach tote, it takes an entire cake of, Karen cotton cakes. Now, if you go to Michael's or Yarnspirations, there's probably other websites that sell these. I usually get mine when I buy them in bulk from Michael's Pro. And usually I think you get like 18 that come in a box. Now, they're all going to be the same colorway, but it's cheaper than trying to buy them one at a time. And I don't mind having everything being one colorway. Now, you can make your bags out of acrylic. But what I do want to stress is that I would not make a market bag out of acrylic, because when it stretches, it's not going to go back into its original shape. Okay, so this bag is acrylic. It's not a market bag. I made sure that there's very, very little stretch in it. This is the bag that actually sometimes I'll throw my crochet in or my bottle of water when I'm leaving the house. It's made out of a very dark purple and a very light yellow. Now, this bag does well carrying some heavier items. However, it's double-stranded, which makes it stronger and less likely to stretch. I would not use these yarns, because they're both acrylic, on a market bag, because once it stretches out, it's never going to go back to its original shape. These cotton market bags will stretch, but then they go back to their original shape. This type of bag is really good for like carrying your cell phone, your bottle of water, maybe even your iPad or a small laptop. And I do make bags out of acrylic, obviously. I just don't make market bags out of acrylic. And if I'm making a bag out of acrylic, I do like to double strand it, and I like to reinforce it with not just single crochet, but also slip stitches. That way it's not going, it's less likely to lose its shape. So you can get yarn in basically any colorway that you want. You can make your bag out of whatever you want. I would recommend cotton if you're making a market bag. If you're making a bag that could get dirty, like with food spills or drink spills, more often than not, I'd recommend using cotton. If it's just kind of an everyday bag that it's only going to get kind of the dirt of wear and tear, then most of the time I'm going to use an acrylic. Well, based on what I expect you to use the bag for, that kind of also informs what type of yarn I'm going to use. Now, if you want to make a bag, but you do not want to make a market bag, there's lots and lots of tutorials on YouTube. However, I would also suggest that if you're interested in making bags, to check out Bag O' Day Crochet. Crystal has tons and tons of tutorials on making bags, as well as other things. And she's very good at explaining how to crochet the bag, how to do the stitches. And so she has a lot of tutorials that are, in my opinion, very good for people that are just learning how to make bags. So those are the kind of types of bags that I make. You can make a bag for whatever you want. The other thing that I do that some crocheters do and others don't is I like to make little keychains that can go on your bags, but they don't have to. They can go on a bag, a backpack, your key ring. I just like these because these are smiles. And I completed an entire bag of these last night. Very easy to attach them to the keychain, and very quick. I think I did the entire bag, which is like approximately 50, in an hour. You don't have to make charms or backpack buddies or keychains or anything to go with your bags, or to be options for people to purchase or for yourself. If you want to, awesome. If you don't, that's okay too. Like I try to stress, the sky's the limit with crochet. You can do whatever you want to. You can make anything out of absolutely any material you want. Now, there's going to be positives and negatives. However, if you want to make it market bag and all you have is acrylic, go for it. I would say double strand it so that you get a little bit better strength and it's not going to overly stretch out. However, I still think that cotton is better for like in the kitchen, in the bathroom, and for making bags that are going to go to a market or a grocery store that's going to be reused and kind of used hard and put away wet. Let's put it that way. So It's up to you on what you want to use and how you want to use it. That being said, my opinions and the rules that I use in my crochet work well for me. However, if that doesn't work well for you, do what does work well for you. Crochet is about having fun. It's it can be therapy. It can be a creative outlet. It can be a business. There's so many things that crochet can be to you. If you find something to be too frustrating, set it down and come back to it later. And later could be, minutes later, hours later, days later, weeks later, years later, because I've done that one. But eventually when you come back to it, something may click for you. And you may go, oh, I know what I'm doing. I don't know why this didn't click for me earlier, but now it does. So don't get too frustrated with your crochet. You may see me like pushing through and doing things that I don't want to do particularly, but you don't have to do that. That's just something that I set up for myself that, oh, I'm going to do this. And so by goodness, I'm going to do it. You do not have to do your crochet that way. Please do what works for you. Don't, there's some things that a lot of us that are crocheters kind of take almost as hard and fast rules. But if that doesn't work for you, find what does. You don't have to live your life based on anybody else's rules. Whether that's crochet or whatever. You want to have purple hair? Go for it. You want to be like a nun or a priest? Go for it. You want to, whatever it is that brings you joy, no matter what the rest of the world thinks, no matter what the neighbors think, if it brings you joy and it is not hurting you or anyone else, go for it. I really want to encourage you to look for the joy, to find what brings you joy, what makes you happy. So I'm going to end my video like I normally do. And maybe you want to say it with me. Remember that you are wanted, you are needed, and you are loved. Please be kind to everyone, including yourself. Just a quick reminder, I will be doing a live Thursday at 5 p.m. and then Saturday at 1 p.m. Both are Mountain Standard Time. So I hope to see you then, and I hope that you have a great rest of your week. Bye.